What if a single star could reveal the invisible forces shaping your next 30 days? Imagine standing beneath a vast night sky. The air is cool, the world is silent, and before you, suspended in darkness, 5 stars appear. Each one glows differently. Each one pulses with its own mysterious energy. Purple, turquoise, gold, silver, deep crimson. One of them is calling to you right now. This isn't just a test. It's a doorway into the hidden chambers of your psyche, where Carl Jung believed our deepest truths reside. The star you choose won't be random. It will be a projection of your unconscious mind, a symbol rising from the collective reservoir of human experience that Jung called the collective unconscious. These stars aren't just celestial bodies. They are archetypes. They are messengers. They carry ancient wisdom about who you are and what the coming month holds for your soul's journey. So take a breath. Let your mind quiet. Don't think. Don't analyze. Just feel. Which star draws your attention? Which one makes your heart beat a little faster? Which one feels like it's already yours? Choose now. Trust your intuition. It knows things your conscious mind has forgotten. The purple star. At first glance, you see deep violet radiating outward in soft waves. This isn't the purple of royalty worn for show. This is the purple of midnight meditation, of ancient robes worn by mystics who spent lifetimes seeking truth in silence. The color itself speaks of transformation. Purple sits at the edge of the visible spectrum, where light begins to disappear into mystery. If this star drew your attention, deep inside you crave wisdom that cannot be taught, only discovered. You are what Jung would call the Hermit archetype, the seeker who walks alone, not from loneliness, but from necessity. Your soul requires solitude the way lungs require air. Perhaps you grew up in an environment where noise drowned out truth. Maybe you learned early that the most important conversations happen in silence, between you and the vast unknown. You developed an inner compass that doesn't rely on external validation. You learn to trust what others cannot see. Your greatest strength lies in your ability to perceive patterns others miss. You sense undercurrents. You feel shifts in energy before they become visible. The coming month will ask you to trust this gift even more deeply. Something is changing beneath the surface of your life. You feel it already, don't you? But Jung reminds us that every archetype casts a shadow. The Hermit's shadow is isolation that becomes prison rather than sanctuary. You may find yourself in the coming weeks pulling away from connections that actually nourish you. You might mistake every gathering as noise, every relationship as distraction. In relationships, you likely seek depth over breadth. You'd rather have one conversation that touches the eternal than 100 that skim surfaces. But here's what most people miss. Sometimes depth requires staying present through the shallow moments too.
Sometimes intimacy builds through accumulated small exchanges, not just profound revelations. The coming month asks you a question. Can you bring your wisdom down from the mountain? Can you share what you've learned in silence without diluting it? Can you allow others to see you, truly see you, without feeling exposed? This purple star whispers that your luck in the coming month lies not in what you discover alone, but in what you're finally ready to share. Someone needs what you know. Someone is waiting for the truth only you can speak. But remember, wisdom that stays locked inside becomes burden rather than gift. The turquoise star. This star glows with the color of tropical waters where sunlight penetrates deep. Turquoise is the color of healing, of emotional clarity, of that precise moment when tears turn from pain into release. It combines blue's tranquility with green's growth. It is the color of the throat chakra, the place where inner truth becomes outer voice. If this star captured your attention, You are entering a month of profound healing and communication. You embody what Jung called the guardian archetype, but not in the way most imagine. You guard emotional truth. You protect the sacred space where vulnerability becomes strength. Maybe life taught you that feelings were dangerous, that showing your heart was weakness. Perhaps you grew up translating everyone else's emotions, becoming fluent in unspoken languages, while your own feelings stayed locked away. You became the one people turned to, the steady presence, the reliable rock. Your greatest strength lies in your emotional intelligence. You can hold space for complexity. You don't need others to be simple or easy. You can sit with someone's darkness without trying to fix it, without running away, without making it about you. The coming month brings opportunities for deep connection. Someone will ask you a question, and your answer will change something fundamental between you. A conversation that's been postponed for years will finally happen. Words that needed to be said will finally find their way into air. Yet there's something you may not realize. While you've been holding space for everyone else's healing, your own wounds have been waiting patiently for attention. The turquoise star appears when it's finally your turn to be held, to be heard, to let someone else carry your weight for a while. But Jung reminds us that the guardian's shadow is self-sacrifice that becomes self-erasure. You may find yourself in the coming weeks saying yes when your soul is screaming no. You might find yourself listening to another crisis when your own heart is breaking. In relationships, you likely seek authenticity above all else. You can forgive almost anything except dishonesty. You'd rather hear a painful truth than a comfortable lie. But here's the deeper question. Do you fear being truly known? Do you protect others from your own complexity while demanding they show you theirs? Can you allow yourself to be messy, uncertain, contradictory? Can you let someone witness your healing instead of only witnessing theirs? This turquoise star whispers that your luck in the coming month lies in reciprocity. The universe is preparing to return what you've given. Someone sees you more clearly than you realize. Someone is ready to hold space for you the way you've held space for them. But remember, receiving requires opening hands you've kept clenched for too long. The golden star. This star radiates pure light, the color of dawn breaking after the longest night. Gold is the color of transformation, of the philosopher's stone, of that mysterious process Jung called individuation, where base metal becomes precious. It's warm without being aggressive, bright without being harsh. It suggests wealth, but not the kind you can hold in your hands. If this star called to you, you are the sovereign archetype, but not in the way the world usually defines power. Your sovereignty is internal. You rule the kingdom of your own becoming. Deep inside, you crave not control over others, but mastery over yourself. Perhaps you grew up in chaos, in environments where nothing was certain, where the ground kept shifting beneath your feet. Maybe you learned that the only thing you could truly control was your own response, your own growth, your own evolution. You became an alchemist, turning every difficulty into gold. Your greatest strength lies in your resilience combined with grace. You don't just survive challenges, you metabolize them. You extract wisdom from pain, growth from limitation, beauty from breakdown. People wonder how you keep rising. They don't see the work you do in private, the inner forging that happens where no one watches. The coming month brings a test of this strength. Something you've built will be challenged. A situation you thought was stable will reveal cracks. But here's what the golden star knows. This isn't collapse. This is refinement. Gold must pass through fire to become pure. But Jung reminds us that the sovereign's shadow is perfectionism that becomes paralysis. You may find yourself in the coming weeks holding yourself to impossible standards, judging your humanity as weakness, mistaking growth for failure. In relationships, you likely seek partnership that feels like collaboration rather than dependency. You want someone who's also committed to their own evolution,
someone who understands that love is a practice, not a destination.
Yet there's something deeper here. Sometimes you use your strength as armor. Sometimes you're so focused on becoming that you forget you're already enough. Do you fear being seen as weak? Can you allow yourself to need someone without seeing it as failure? Will you dare to show your unfinished edges, your works in progress, your messy humanity? This golden star whispers that your luck in the coming month lies in vulnerability masquerading as strength. The breakthrough you've been working toward will come not from more effort, but from letting someone see you struggle. Someone needs to know that even gold passes through fire. But remember, transformation happens in relationship, not just in isolation. The silver star. This star glimmers with the color of moonlight on water, of mirrors that show not just surface, but soul.
Silver is reflective, intuitive, feminine in the Jungian sense of receptive and cyclical. It's the color of the moon, which doesn't generate light, but receives and reflects. It speaks of inner knowing, of psychic sensitivity, of connection to realms beyond the visible. If this star chose you, you are the eternal child archetype, but not in its naive form. You carry wonder alongside wisdom. You see magic in the mundane. Deep inside, you crave authenticity that doesn't sacrifice innocence, growth that doesn't destroy hope. Maybe you grew up too fast, forced into adult awareness before your time. Perhaps you learned early that the world is harder than it should be, that people carry wounds they inflict on each other, that disappointment is more common than delight.
But somewhere inside, you refused to let that destroy your capacity for wonder. You became a guardian of possibility. Your greatest strength lies in your ability to begin again. You don't carry resentment the way others do. You can forgive, not because you forget, but because you understand that holding on to hurt is heavier than releasing it. You know how to start fresh, how to find new angles, how to believe in better when everyone else has given up. The coming month brings unexpected opportunities disguised as small moments. A chance conversation, a random encounter, a sudden inspiration. Your luck isn't loud or obvious. It's subtle, synchronistic, woven into the fabric of daily life like silver thread through dark cloth.
Yet there's something you may not realize. While you've been staying open to possibility, you've also been avoiding necessary endings. The silver star appears when it's time to let something die so something new can be born. Not everything deserves another chance. Not every beginning requires your energy. But Jung reminds us that the eternal child's shadow is escapism, the refusal to fully land in reality, the addiction to potential that prevents actual manifestation. You may find yourself in the coming weeks starting new things instead of finishing old ones, chasing sparks instead of tending fires, believing that somewhere else is better than here. In relationships, you likely seek lightness, play, and creative collaboration. You want someone who can laugh, who can imagine, who hasn't forgotten how to be surprised by life.
But here's the deeper question. Do you fear being pinned down? Can you commit without feeling caged? Will you allow love to have weight, consequence, and grown-up responsibility? Can you honor both your inner child and your inner elder? Can you hold wonder and wisdom in the same breath? This silver star whispers that your luck in the coming month lies in grounded magic. The universe is asking you to take something ethereal and make it real, to take a dream and build it a body. Someone believes in your vision more than you realize. But remember, silver must be worked to become jewelry. Potential becomes power through committed action. The crimson star. This star burns with deep red, the color of blood and roses, of passion and warning, of life force itself. Crimson is not the bright red of alarm, but the dark red of roots in earth, of wine aging in darkness, of power that has learned patience. It's the color of the first chakra, the root, the foundation, the will to exist. If this star drew your eye, you are the warrior archetype.
but not the kind that fights external battles. You fight internal ones. You battle your own demons, your own limitations, your own inherited patterns. Deep inside, you crave strength that's been tested, power that's been earned, resilience that's been forged. Perhaps you grew up in environments where survival wasn't guaranteed, where you learned early that the world doesn't protect the vulnerable, that strength isn't optional but necessary. Maybe life taught you to be your own fortress, your own army, your own last line of defense. You carry your power like a weapon kept sharp. Your greatest strength lies in your raw, unfiltered vitality. You have life force that others can feel when you enter a room. You don't apologize for taking up space. You know how to say no. You know how to set boundaries. You know how to fight for what matters, including fighting for yourself. The coming month tests this strength in unexpected ways. A situation will require you to stand your ground when everyone else wants you to yield. A choice will ask you to prioritize your own needs when you've been trained to sacrifice them.
Your luck comes through your courage to be disliked, misunderstood, or judged. But here's what most people miss. Your fierceness is protection for something tender underneath. The crimson star appears when it's time to stop protecting and start revealing. What are you guarding? What softness have you buried beneath strength? But Jung reminds us that the warrior's shadow is aggression turned inward or outward without discernment. You may find yourself in the coming weeks fighting battles that don't need fighting, protecting against threats that don't exist, or using your strength to keep people at a distance rather than invite them closer. In relationships, you likely seek intensity, loyalty, and someone who won't crumble under the weight of your truth. You want passion, not politeness.
Raw honesty, not careful diplomacy. But here's the deeper question. Do you fear softness? Can you allow yourself to be gentle without seeing it as weakness? Will you dare to lower your defenses with someone who's earned your trust? Can you use your power to protect rather than isolate? Can you be fierce and tender in the same moment? This crimson star whispers that your luck in the coming month lies in directed force. You've been strong for so long, fighting so many battles. Now the universe asks you to choose carefully where you aim your power. Not every challenge deserves your energy. Not every person deserves your warhair. But remember, true strength knows when to fight and when to surrender, when to protect and when to open. Closing. Your choice wasn't random. It was a reminder, a whisper from your unconscious about the energies shaping your coming month. If you chose purple, your luck lies in sharing wisdom. If you chose turquoise, your luck lies in receiving healing. If you chose gold, your luck lies in vulnerable strength. If you chose silver, your luck lies in grounded magic. If you chose crimson, your luck lies in directed power. Jung wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." The star you chose is making something conscious. It's showing you not just who you are, but who you're becoming. It's revealing the particular flavor of luck waiting for you, the specific door that's beginning to open, the unique invitation the universe is extending. Take this knowledge into your days. Notice when your chosen star's energy appears in your life. Notice when you're being asked to embody its wisdom or confront its shadow. What did you choose? How did it resonate? Share your reflections. Tell your story. Sometimes speaking truth aloud is the final step in making the unconscious conscious. Until next time, keep your curiosity alive. Keep watching for stars. Keep listening to the whispers of your own mysterious depths. The night sky is always speaking. The question is whether we're willing to look up and listen.